can start prepping crew lunch, then guest lunch. And then when that's done, you have to go straight into crew dinner, then guest dinner. So I'm normally trying to do desserts at the time of breakfast.
Right.
In like for the evening, having them set.
You sound traumatized.
It's it's good.
Hi, hello, and welcome to another brand spanking new C-Rat interview. Hello, I'm Dylan. Hello, that's Pat.
Permission to come aboard.
She showed up, everybody. It is a marvel. There is a C-Rat in studio. It is none other than Chef Tsarina. Hello.
Hi, I'm with the pod rats.
Yeah, you know, we'll take it.
I like that. Get on the microphone, Tzarina, just so we can
nice
hear
and
you.
close. This is the first time doing this.
I have
You're
to say,
doing great.
all right. So with, I think, interior, I think we're 3 for 3. With chefs, I think we're 2 for 1. I think the chefs are a little bit more. You can count on them showing up.
Oh. You're saying coming into the actual studio.
Yes, and also showing up for interviews that were scheduled
2
weeks
for
ago.
1. What is that?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about their success on the show.
Well,
I thought you were saying that Tzarina didn't do a good job because she made that guacamole
Absolutely.
that was coming out of the pumpkin head that one time.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll get into that.
Why are you being rude?
No. So we have a lot of things to get into. We're very, very grateful that you've joined us this evening. As we talked about, it's tough to get you guys in here. Can you yank down on that? There we go.
That's
Hi.
Hi.
How'd you get on the show?
How did I get on it?
Yeah, we ask every guest that. That's the first question we ask every guest is how did you
Really?
get on the show?
Oh,
Yeah.
I think they wanted me for like other ones, and I kept saying no.
Uh-huh.
And
Okay.
I actually I was thinking about doing it in Down Under, and they contacted me again. But then I landed like my perfect dream job.
What's that?
And it was just like on a yacht, but you get paid all year round, but you only work 5 months of the year. Then they encourage you to do like ski seasons and stuff, but pay you full price because they want you to stay like 10 years. So it's like as long as you go back. So
Is it like one benefactor or is it like a company?
No, it's just the owner of the boat. That's what he wants. And he wants his crew to have a life and stuff. And my friends worked on this boat and I got the head chef role. And then I put up my apartment to be rented and I sorted everything out, signed the contract, really, really excited. Then I was at my friend's birthday. It's like 10 o'clock at night and I get a phone call. It's the captain saying, Tzarina, I'm so sorry, but the owner has just been in Italy and they found this chef in a restaurant and offered him your job.
Oh, what a piece of shit.
And I was just like, I've rented out my apartment. Like, I can't tell these new tenants. And I went crazy. I went back into the bar, took some shots, really C-ratted it.
Sure.
You know, and then I get a phone call. It's from America. And it's one of the people who hire us. And they're like, hey, do you want to come do Down Under? And I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see you in a week.
So, okay. So that question is a tepid and boring one, but it usually gets us into things that are a little juicier. But I got to say, that's probably the most curious and fascinating tale we've ever heard. That was actually a really good story about kind of how the universe just works for you sometimes.
Because also the first day of filming was my 30th birthday.
Yeah.
And I always said on my 30th, I'm going to do something amazing.
So no aspirations to be on television. A lot of people that end up on the show, because now out of Florida, there's the school for yachting or whatnot. And so we've come to learn that a lot of people perceive it as an opportunity. I'll go to the school. I'm good looking. I have an Instagram following. Naturally, the producers will reach out to me. But it was a totally different story. They were pursuing you the entire time.
Well, I wrote a comment on a Facebook thing. I think my friend tagged me in it like maybe 4 years ago being like, like you should do this sort of thing. And I wrote underneath going, those bitches aren't ready for me.
Yeah.
Then suddenly my inbox is filling up and I was just like, it's kind of half a joke.
Well, how long have you been in the industry?
4 years as a kind of yachty.
Yeah.
But I mainly work in private households. And before that, I was a traveling private chef, but my owners would have like 6 to 12 to 20 houses and 3 yachts, and I
Sure.
would travel around with them. But it was really lonely, and my whole life was my boss.
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, I want to make some friends. And
Yeah.
so I got into yachting to basically make friends.
You were like Jennifer Coolidge's assistant
Yeah.
So
in
that-
the show.
So this is interesting. So I kind of know a little bit about this living in Los Angeles for the last 20 years. So private chefs, my understanding is like, say you're, I don't know, a CEO of some big company. Like, are you paid generally like
Guap.
in US dollars? I've come to know that if you're a private chef, it's bare minimum is like $500 a day, and you need to make lunch and dinner, and then there's like money set aside.
And
for
you also, the most important part is you need to turn a blind eye.
I mean, I wouldn't get out of bed for $500, but
Yeah,
that's really
me
sweet.
neither.
right?
But yeah, I mean, it is good once you get it in a family that's worth working for, because sometimes, like, a lot of the time I live in that private households, and I've worked with Saudis and Russians
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And it is, when I worked for the Saudis, I would have to wear a headscarf, and my head would always have to face the ground. And if the princess walked in, if I looked her in the eye, I'll be fired.
Wow.
So it's very
Yeah.
strict, and you're in their houses as well.
Yeah.
So it's their rules.
Are there headhunters that kind of help you get these jobs? Is that a cottage industry?
Yeah, there's like agencies that have high-end household clients.
Wow, that seems like a really crazy job.
Hey, Lou, can you turn her up a little bit for me, babe?
Sorry to wait to come.
She's I think she's Fader 1.
So, okay. All right.
I'm intrigued.
I mean, all right. Okay. There's so many things to get into, but can I start off with something?
Please do.
In the world of the culinary arts?
Yes.
Lemon seeds. How do you do it? Because it's probably the most common citrus in cooking, right? Don't you think so?
lemon seeds.
Yeah.
Like the actual seeds.
Yeah.
What, you want me to cook with lemon seeds?
No. I'm just wondering how you navigate lemon seeds, because they are the bane of my existence when I cook. And I feel like there's always this calls for lemon, but people don't really tell you that there's a certain amount of like horror that goes into juicing lemons and stuff like that, because the seeds, they always get in everything. You know what I mean? So what I was wondering is, how do you do it? How do you deal with that?
So I always wear gloves because I normally have my claws on.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Great nails.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that you can see lines in all the vegetables when I chop.
Yeah.
But so I wear my gloves, and I actually cut. Well, I always zest it first because it makes it easier to squeeze anyway.
Yeah.
But then I cut around it so that middle bit with the seeds in is in there. And
Okay.
then those bits you can easily squeeze in. And then with my gloves, I squeeze it like this and chuck it away.
Okay. So there's not a lot of lemon seeds going into any of your vinaigrettes and whatnot.
No, why? Did something happen?
It just happens to be all the time, and I really can't stand it.
I'm glad
know
you
what I
covered
mean?
this question, because
It's an
we skipped right over
important
Haley Whittle,
question.
our listener. She was going to ask that question.
Yeah.
I'm sure her heart is broken tonight.
Well, fuck you, Hallie.
Rude.
I think this is going really well.
Yeah, it is. All right. So back to working as a private chef. Do you have any crazy stories of things that you've seen in households that you probably signed NDAs for that you can't talk about?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
I mean, I've worked for families that were always naked around me, and they're very high profile.
Yeah.
You know, a
Clintons.
proper like leg on the table stretching while talking to you. You're like, what sort of eggs would you like?
Yeah.
You know what's crazy about that? My wife told me, because I like to walk around the house in my boxer shorts, and I'm an idiot, and I needed to be reminded of this. She goes, "We just hired a nanny. You can never leave a room with in boxers,
great
or you'll
point.
get us sued into the
Yeah,
ground."
very, and
I
especially
don't
being in America.
I don't
Sue
think
for anything.
Lupita is the litigious type. It's just about, it's about being considerate, because Lupita doesn't want to see the tattoo that spells out "rockin" above your hip when she's trying to clean your house.
That's true.
So, let's talk about the season. The kitchen you were handed was almost inoperable. what was that the hardest culinary test you've ever had, working in those quarters for that amount of time?
To tell the truth, the size wasn't too bad. I've actually been in smaller. The problem is that nothing worked. So there were two ovens. One of them definitely didn't work. The other one was like temperamental. Like,
right.
How are you going to be today? The hobs, some of them would work, some of them wouldn't.
Okay.
And then my biggest challenge was that when you took something out of the oven, there was nowhere to put it.
Right.
So I was just constantly walking around with trays and in the end just shoving them in the sink.
Right.
And also, I didn't have a dishwasher.
Everything's hand washed.
Everything's hand washed.
Yeah, which I hate because I'm normally kosher. I want to
Now, when people are paying
Who
$60,000
likes hand
a day,
It's just crazy.
and I've heard people or certain captains like Captain Sandy saying food is basically most of the experience of being on a yacht. You'd think that they'd make sure both ovens work, but
Yeah,
yeah.
you would think. It was actually the lining of it. So it would turn on, but then the whole galley
Yeah.
would heat up to
Right.
an Austrian sauna. And
Right.
unfortunately, I couldn't strip off because
Yeah.
the cameras are around me.
Right.
wow.
When you say one of them just didn't work, it just didn't work, or was it like
it worked, but the seal,
the seal was
it
not
would just pump out hot air.
Right,
And then
right.
my air conditioning unit, if I turned it on, would blow everything off that countertop. So I would always have to have the air conditioning off and basically be sweating it out.
Sure.
And then at certain times, I would be able to turn it on.
Yeah.
But otherwise, if I turned it on, everything would blow off.
So it was like a Three Stooges routine every single day. When you
It was
woke up.
frustrating.
Yeah.
I actually, something that I'm really grateful for with Below Deck is the fact that I cried about 5 times a day in that galley.
Yeah.
You know, I'd open a cupboard, it'd just come off in my hand, and I'd be like,
Yeah.
Can I ask some questions about the life of a chef on Below Deck or the yachts? So you wake up at 6:30 because you got to start prepping breakfast.
On a good day, yeah.
All right, can you run me through what the day kind of works? Like, when do you have breaks in between breakfast and lunch? Like, how does the day work out?
well, in between breakfast and lunch, you're doing crew food
Yeah.
because
Wow.
the crew have to eat.
Well, kind of.
So they do. But
Kind of.
yeah, I mean, normally on a charter, I'm up around 5 baking bread and pastries and getting ready. And then I go while I'm doing breakfast service because, you know, they might say 8 o'clock for breakfast or 7 o'clock, but that could go on till 12 o'clock. So you still have to have all the breakfast stuff out in an area
Yeah.
that you can start prepping crew lunch, then guest lunch. And then when that's done, you have to go straight into crew dinner, then guest dinner. So I'm normally trying to do desserts at the time of breakfast
Right.
in like for the evening, having them set.
You sound traumatized.
It's it's good. No, it's good. It's just so much.
Yeah.
And it's something that I'm still in shock about the
Yeah.
industry.
It
to tell the
feels
truth, and
like
the hours.
you are a prisoner of war that just got negotiated out
I
of that
feel like
country.
I'm having a like PTSD
Yeah.
flashbacks,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
can
yeah.
hear the grenades
Right,
behind me.
100%. Yeah. Okay, well, we have so many listener questions, but I do want to ask you about hibachi night because
Yes.
you, I mean, you weren't having a Tzarina kind of day that day.
Which night?
The hibachi night.
What's the budget?
That's where this was the meal where you basically told Captain Jason to go fuck off because it was too much.
Yeah, do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
If
the
that
night.
was Sandy, I would have been fired.
Yeah, that was the night where you had to live grill meats in front of
Yeah.
awkward, I think, marijuana professionals
Yes.
from like Carlsbad or
Well,
something
maybe
like that.
they shared, then I wouldn't have been so panicked, to
Yeah.
be honest.
So why were you so not looking forward to that? Was it that you just didn't want to have to interact with them the entire time you were cooking, or?
Yeah, what was your mindset? Because that was the first time that you pushed back.
That was the first time you really blew a fuse.
Yes. So were there more things going on there? Obviously there was the Joao drama. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
Like, give us your headspace.
And hey, everybody, we'll get to Joao. Okay?
Yes.
Twat face, we call him.
We'll get to Twat Face.
So There's a few things with that evening, and my mother is going to kill me for this.
Yeah.
Before I went on the show, my mother and her two sisters came over, and I think I made like a comment or a joke about something, and they all kicked off at me being like, oh, you're so racist, and you're going to embarrass us, and all of this. And I remember just crying my eyes out that night going, oh my God, because my jokes are really inappropriate. I have the chef banter, and I really rethought my life. And then,
oh wow, must have been a bad one, huh?
Family. Oh, childhood trauma, you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
So when that came up, and it was one of the like Proficient Sheets meetings that were actually really last minute, and I did kind of know about it a little bit before, but I didn't know what it was. And then when I was Googling it to figure out how to do it, it was like, these masters train for this amount of years. You have to be Asian to do it.
Well, to be fair, you didn't have to throw a shrimp in your head.
Yeah.
In Los Angeles, you can be either Hispanic or Asian, but it's usually Hispanic or Asian. And also, they're still masters, regardless of color or creed. They are masters. You don't just fucking throw somebody to the wolves telling them to do a onion volcano in front of people for the first time. Yeah. It's just wild.
But yeah, I just think when I looked at how many years of training it was, and also I get quite bad stage fright anyway, and I just thought I was set up to fail.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, I'm not trained to this. I don't want to insult anyone.
Yeah.
Caro Snow, a listener, actually asked that question. Did you feel that might have been a production move to set you up to fail because you were having such a good season?
Careful now.
I don't know, because I don't know what they do. Because when you're in it, you don't. I promise you, it's like working on a boat. Like, I promise you that, hands down.
Yeah.
But when I saw their reaction and how much the guests were like banging on about how much they love it, and then it's obviously something that they liked, I was like, oh no, they're just cheap and that's what they want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, it's actually quite pricey. I mean, when you go to
Benihana's.
I was expecting them to chuck money at me or something. I'm just saying, I was like, where is my tip?
No. The hibachi chef throws things at the clientele. You are assaulted with
pieces of shrimp.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Shrimp. I mean, they'll throw chicken at you. Mm-hmm. They'll fucking throw rice at you. I mean, I don't understand.
I just didn't know if I was
appeal.
allowed to do them, and I'm also thinking about the teak, like the decking for everyone else.
Right.
I just, I mean, like you said, you had to be like Asian or Hispanic, and this white little Russian Jew isn't quite going to cut it. To be honest,
Exactly. All right. Well, we got to get to some listener questions, and we should probably get to Twitface now.
What's that? Oh, twat face. Mm-hmm. Oh, should we ask a question of twat face?
Yeah, because I'm sure people are probably still pissed off about the lemon seed question.
Oh,
and they just want to get to the Joao stuff.
Okay, I'm trying to find a specific question about that. I know that's in here. I mean, I know some people wanted some updates on where certain relationships were. All right, let's do a little softball to start this off.
Okay, softball to start
Chief
off.
Stu, our admin, he asks, what is your current relationship with some of your cast members, Margot, Kermit / Aisha, and Culver? Do you talk to them currently?
Yeah, all the time. I spoke to Margot and Aisha on the phone yesterday. We keep each other updated with everything. Anything that we see, we're like, look at that dumb bitch.
Yeah.
And then Culver and I, we're good. He's actually in West Palm Beach, which is like 40 minutes away from me. I tried to do a cooking thing with him, but it just turned out he watched me cook and eat it.
Now, I find him very annoying.
We call him Butterball, Blockhead. Let Captain Lego Head. Yeah.
All right.
Culver is the worst.
Please tell us some redeeming values about him. What did we miss when we were watching this? Because I just saw him as a very annoying person. Can you share with us why we should like him?
I think that he's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
I just think he has this innocence about him, and he obviously comes from a very protected, loving family and not very streetwise.
No.
But he has a really kind heart.
Sure.
He's just, I guess, oblivious to a lot of things around him.
Yeah.
I think he's lovely, and I love hanging out with him.
Yeah.
you know? He's
Yeah.
never
Right.
done like really anything to properly upset me apart from that.
Sure.
5
Really?
minutes
Yeah.
of the
No, I
show.
mean, like Lenny was sweet,
Who's Oh, the guy but he killed bunnies.
but he didn't mean to.
What?
Well,
So the reason why we were a little perturbed with Culver, and I think that we can start here. The whole he's done it in seasons past where he has this. It's an interesting psychology. He puts women on a kind of back burner or a soft boil for him, almost with this kind of.
Something better would come along?
Not necessarily something better will come along, but maybe if I feel like it, I'll do it. But I think it's more I want a mom because I miss my mom. But regardless, I don't think it's any way to treat a young lady. So we've seen him do that 2 times now. And with you, it was particularly annoying. And we'll get into Jamae Private School Girl and that betrayal. But yeah, did you feel like he was just kind of leaving you hanging?
I think when you're there, like I am doing 20-hour days. And so those little bits that we get on those nights out and stuff where like we're exhausted and then we're drunk as fuck,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, it's like I only get little snippets of people, but he was always nice to me.
Yeah.
But
do you feel like he led you on a little bit?
the thing is, I've had this before. This is it. It's just like, I know when people first meet me that they find me interesting and quirky, like she has a talent and all of this. And then something better always does come along.
Oh, wow. That's very sad. And that's a self-harm lie that we all tell ourselves,
Yeah,
but
we all feel that way.
But,
and then you get married, and then that person loves you. But it's very boring.
I think you are one Brene Brown podcast away from completely shattering that thought because it's so not true. And in terms of human merit, you versus Culver, I don't want to. We don't need to say the answer. But Culver's he's Captain Lego Head,
and he'd be so lucky to be your
God.
boyfriend. What a
do you
jerk!
think?
Oh my
All right.
God!
Now-
I think he's sexually intimidated by me.
He probably was. He's a dummy. I'm gonna stand my ground on my opinion of that jerk off.
Were you not annoyed by him constantly buzzarding around you, waiting for fucking loose meat? I mean, my God.
Well, they showed him, but Jason was the worst for that.
Oh,
Captain
was he really?
Jason.
Well, Captain Jason's way hotter.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Or is he?
Oh, really? I hadn't noticed.
Yeah. I mean, way hotter.
All right, so this is my question, and this is probably a tough question for you. Did the friend that dated Joao before you hooked up with him, have you spoken? Did she have a problem with you hooking up with Joao?
Yeah.
I messaged her the whole time I was there. And I remember the day that I told her that we slept together, she cried down the phone to me.
Okay.
And
So that didn't go well.
No, that doesn't
no.
sound like it went good.
No. She cried because she said, I'm so worried that he's going to do to you what he did to me.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm worried for you. I love you. You do whatever's best. And she was
Yeah.
like, I really hope people can change. And all my friends kept saying, I hope people can change. And that's what I was going off is
Right.
like, maybe he's changed and maybe
Yeah.
I'm that person.
They don't really
to change
though.
him.
Yeah.
Turns out I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went back to Palma with Joao.
All right. Sorry to interrupt. Okay, so we're done filming. It looks like you guys are you were fighting a little bit, but he's still a good guy. So what happens immediately after filming? What happens with both of you? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I don't want to start a war with him.
Yeah.
He doesn't listen to the show.
But also, I don't want the public to be like, that's when you should have left him. That's when you should have left him. That's when you should have
Yeah,
left
If
him.
anybody does that, we've all been there.
And let me tell you something, public. We've all been there.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, I think so. The first thing that happened is when we stopped filming and we went to a hotel together, I stayed in that night because I was actually quite sick because I actually have a disease. And it was playing up by the end of the season, and so I couldn't move around a lot. And so I was sleeping in bed, and he went out, And then at 4:00 in the morning, burst through the door with about 16 people with booze in their hands. And they all came to the hotel room, and I was naked in bed, and I was wrapping myself up, being like, please get out my room, like, get out. And Joao was there, like, I told them you were cool. You're embarrassing me in front of my friends. I'm like, you just picked up some fucking feral creatures from the streets. Like,
Right.
these aren't your friends.
Yeah.
And then it got into quite a heated fight. And then the next day I left the hotel room early, and he was just like, you embarrass me, you're disgusting, and all this shit. And then I went to see my grandmother in Melbourne. And then that's when it all really got quite bad.
Yeah.
I think we'd be
To be fair to him, I mean, those were his friends.
I know.
You know.
I mean, sometimes I go into dumpsters and trash, and I pull out records.
Well, you dated Joao.
And I went, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think we'd be remiss. So you weren't feeling that well that night, and you mentioned that you were having an illness towards the end of the season. Are you comfortable with sharing that?
Yeah, no, I mean, I've had endometriosis since I was 9.
Not talked about enough.
So
Not talked about enough.
So yeah, and actually the whole time filming, I didn't realize, but I collapsed afterwards. Then I realized, but I had a tumor the size of a rock on my cervix, and I had 32 cysts the size of golf balls from all over my ovaries up to my gut.
Yeah.
And so I went into surgery a few months after filming. And had everything removed. So it's quite funny. Fans keep saying like, "Oh, you've lost so much weight." It's like, well, I had 12 kilos taken out of me.
Yeah.
Wow.
But-
So
it's a great way to lose weight.
I apologize for asking that, but I think our audience
it's
would,
fine.
and thank you for being so gracious.
Yeah, thank you for being candid.
So-
and it's a thing that, a lot of people have it. I mean, that sounds really, really traumatizing, but
that was showing you probably at least as we've seen on the show a couple times, an example of him not being caring or thoughtful and
brutish.
Well, I will say that as soon as the cameras went off, the real him came out, and I really tried to hold on to the person that was on board, because I will honestly say, like, hand to heart, I would not be able to do that season without him. When Luke Honora got fired and he came on, that I felt like that's when the season began. And he got me through every day. He checked on me every hour.
Yeah.
Okay, you okay? Can I send you a boy to help wash up? Like, can I take your trash out? Like, everything. He's like, you're doing so well, and pumping me up. And he put me on this like high pedestal. And I kept thinking, like, I can do this. This is great. This is amazing. And then it's just like that kind of love bombing of a narcissist.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it was time to drop me, he just dropped me so hard.
All right, so lots to break down here. So one thing we've noticed on Below Deck is that it does nurture bosuns that are sex addicts.
I think a lot of people in the yachting industry are sex addicts, because we do go to sea for so long. Like, the longest I did 6 months on a boat where I didn't go outside because there's no space on, and it's during COVID. So we went out to step on land. There's no space for the crew, like, outside the boat, and it was literally galley cabin for 6 months, and you do go crazy. But a lot of the sea rats yachting industry, like, we get forced to go into a boat with people that we probably wouldn't say hello to in a bar. And
You
it's like,
definitely wouldn't.
you have to be friends. Like, you might be in long-distance relationships, but it's just, like, humans have cravings.
Of course.
And this is why, like, there's a lot of people who come into the show have just come from their boats as well. So no wonder they're hooking up.
Yeah.
Because everyone on bloody Below Deck are part-time models.
Right.
The cast are gorgeous.
By the way,
going to happen.
so that brings me to this question. Is there a Logan's Run type of thing where once you aren't good looking, you can't work on those boats anymore? Like, is that where they kill you and they put you in a meat grinder and then we feed the rest of the crews?
Your body.
Like, because by the way, does Below Deck represent generally how a crew looks?
Absolutely.
It does.
Oh my gosh,
So
absolutely.
there is nobody allowed over 40 to work in the exterior or the interior.
My best friends, they're in their 40s, and they recently got into yachting, and they're a married couple, and they're smashing it, and I'm really proud of them.
Well, they must be very good
They're
looking.
attractive.
But of course they're gorgeous.
Yeah, okay.
Of course.
Yeah.
But they've had to fight for it, you know.
Yeah.
And the crew are getting younger and less experienced and cheaper.
Yeah.
And suddenly this 7-star service is getting to, well, she has an OnlyFans, so we're going to hire her.
Yeah, yeah,
You know?
Yep. No, that's exactly how it is, and it's horrifying to think of paying for a vacation, getting that kind of service, but it's also quite helpful for people who are drawn to the sea.
I mean, I went on a boat. This is so embarrassing.
Yeah.
So the chef failed their drug test and they had to get a chef in really quickly.
Sounds about right.
And so I flew literally within like 6 hours from the interview. I was on a flight. I was going, and it turned out that the boss of the boat only wanted blonde models.
Yeah.
So then I came on board with like 15 crew, and I was like this tiny little Jewish girl. And I looked like their weird cousin their mum made them hang out with.
Yeah.
Like, go take her out.
Right.
Go get some blankets, have some fun, you
Right.
know? And it was the most awkward setting for me ever, because I was just surrounded by like these gorgeous men with 6-packs, these women who are like ex-athletes and models, and I'm there like, hey,
Oh, hello. Yeah.
what do you want to eat?
Did they ask you to bleach your hair?
No. They
That's
didn't.
really
But
kind
I
of
was
them.
locked in the galley, but my sous chef was this gorgeous blonde woman as well. I was like, do you know how to cook? And she was like, yeah, I know some stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So where's the relationship? By the way, it's so interesting to hear you speak of Joao in positive terms now, given that he basically was kind of a dickhead after filming.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always said, like, and this is the thing that I keep going back with my therapist as well, which I try to get out of my head, is that I can't hold on to the person that he was on board because he was acting,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And I keep thinking like, well, maybe if I saw him and, you know, it's like, no, Tzarina, like, I know what he did to me for those 5 months after filming, and it was
It lasted
horrible.
that long after.
I think it was, so he lived with me for around
He
a month.
lived with you.
Yeah, so he moved into my place, and that's when I think we had a really good week. We had a really, really amazing week.
Yeah.
And then that's when he started dating the woman that he's with now behind my
Yeah.
back. But we're always in like this open, free relationship. The difference is that I was so
You
exhausted.
crazy kids. What's with
You
these
crazy
open
fucking
relationships?
It's yachting. For me, it's protecting myself, because otherwise I get cheated on.
Oh, wow.
And as long as it's not nice.
Yeah.
Now I don't date yachties.
I can hear the
I
public.
have a ban.
Please.
No more yachties. So if there's any single men out there,
Oh, I'm
who would
sure
like-
I'm sure your DMs have done fine,
they have
Tzarina.
not. They
Okay.
haven't.
Hey, everybody. Will you fucking pick the phones up, please? My God. Get
I
to
think
work.
people just think I'm like this huge feminist, like fighting against Luke, and like Margot's my queen, which is true. So they're like, oh God, I can't send her a dick pic. She might report it. I'm like, send them over.
Yeah.
Jesus.
All right. No dick pics. Just tell
okay.
Tzarina if you find her work cool and she's
Don't send any dick pics.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So let's get to some listener
What a
questions.
horrifying thing. If it's not like agreed upon, you know, like I would like a dick pic. To just fucking kick things off with a picture of your fucking penis. I mean it's just
You know,
horrific.
you can go to court for it now.
Yeah.
You should be able to go to court. And also, okay, so many things, because you're such a lovely, beautiful human being. And I just want you to extend the grace that you extend monstrous people like Culver. I want you to extend it to yourself. Point it inward. But also, worrying about what the public thinks. People, if anyone has an issue with you, I don't know, rallying against the actions of Luke, I don't
We don't care what they think.
necessarily think that, we should be too concerned with that, because that's fairly black and white.
Well, which brings us to our second listener question. Addie Grill asks, have you heard from Luke or Laura?
So Laura and I were talking before those episodes came out. And then as soon as those episodes came out, I blocked her
Yeah.
straight away because I felt very
You didn't
betrayed.
see what she was doing.
With Margot.
Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm really locked in a little hole.
Yeah. You're doing the Three Stooges
Yeah.
thing downstairs.
And I listened to a lot of what she was saying. And, you know, I'm very much the sort of person when there's two sides of the story, I piece it together myself.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's for someone who gets bullied, like you have to do that a lot. And
Sure.
So what's actually true.
I know, but some people are just
Scum.
pathological liars.
Well,
yeah.
look, she comes from a country where their only output is dog bowls, Dylan.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Lapia?
No.
Have you never been there? So Laura, yeah, I guess, listen, I'm not going to ask that question. Pat, ask another question.
Okay. Megan Maker asks, are the texts, and this is a production question, you might get in trouble with this. So this season, Med, we see cast member Natalia and her douchebag boyfriend, AJ, who's also in an open relationship.
Yeah.
We see text blurbs on the
AJ,
screen.
the fight is still out there for you, okay? If
I will fight you.
to take
3
the fight.
rounds,
Yeah.
1 minute rounds. I'll beat the shit out of you, you
Yeah.
litigious piece of shit.
If it was to happen, which it's not going to happen, and this is we're just joking around, but also kind of not, but more joking. It's there if you want it, okay?
Okay.
You fucking fat buff body.
So do they make you sign a thing where anybody that texts you will be shown on the screen? So if you had a guy you were dating, I mean, you've seen this as a trope on the show, right? Where the text blurbs show
Okay,
up.
I've actually always wondered about this.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously I watched Below Deck, you know.
Of course.
So when I went on it, and then obviously when I was messaging my friend who was with Joao before, I remember messaging her in the galley and thinking, I'm being so sneaky. And then when it came out, them like showing my message, I was
They
like,
did show your messages.
yeah, I was just like, how the fuck did they do that? But I have like 9 cameras all around me in the galley. So obviously like one zooms in and actually sees what I'm writing.
Interesting. So you don't hand your phones over.
Yeah, of course we don't. That's really illegal.
Yeah.
No. But honestly, no, really, I was shocked myself at like
How accurate was the description of the text?
I mean, pretty accurate.
It
And I
is
was
so nuts. Like, I know that you don't see production and you're too busy to really think about them. But next time you're on the show, if you're on the show again, really, I don't know, maybe be mindful that there are like overseers who are in the darkness who, it's
that,
just
The overseers.
crazy. My God.
I think the one thing that Below Deck prides themselves over, and this is something I love about it, is that we are the most reality.
You
show
are.
out of
For good
all
and
of
bad.
them.
Yeah.
They let you
Yeah.
guys get blackout drunk, which they shouldn't. And
They
then
should, but it's a high wire act because your sea rats are going to sea rat, you
Thank-
know? And,
Left hand.
I'm honored.
oh, wow.
I'm honored.
Wow.
Thank you.
You know what goes great with a
The
glass
sea
of
rat
wine?
Cheese.
No, Tzarina. Green Chef. Green Chef is a CCOF certified meal kit company. Green Chef makes eating well easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free. Are you any of those? Or just looking to eat some more balanced meals, Green Chef offers a range of recipes to suit your preference. Pat,
Yeah.
how's this been going lately
It's going
for you?
wonderful. All right. So the wife and I, we just signed up for the plant-based meal plan. The box showed up, 3 meals in there. We had a wonderful time last week cooking every single meal together. There's something about family getting together and actually cooking together.
Yeah. And there aren't a lot of lemon seeds with Green Chef, which is great. You know how I said last week that my wife is a bit of an egghead?
Did you say that?
Yep. And they have the best eggs. They also have incredible lean proteins like turkey and sockeye salmon and barramundi, tilapia, scallops, shrimp. Doesn't that sound good?
Tilapia.
It sounds good,
I
right?
actually think I would dive into this.
Yep. Eating clean shouldn't be boring, especially during the holiday season.
Is that eating clean in America?
100%.
Yeah.
You guys are so behind.
Can I do that?
Sorry, of course.
Yeah, you're going to get us in trouble.
Okay, eating clean shouldn't be boring, especially during the holiday season. Feel your best and satisfy your cravings with adventurous eats made nutritious. Discover exciting new flavors with recipes that feature certified organic fruits and vegetables, sustainably sourced seafood, like we talked about, the tilapia and the barramundi, and unique farm fresh ingredients like tart cherries, truffle zest, and rainbow carrots. My goodness gracious.
I love a rainbow
Hey,
carrot.
Dill, blow the listeners' minds with this deal.
You're not going to believe this deal. Here it is for Green Chef's best deal of the year. And this is, we do ad reads for them all year. And this is the best one by far. Get $250 off with code BelowDeck250 at greenchef.com/BelowDeck250. I'm going to say that again. For Green Chef's best deal of the year, get $250 off with code BelowDeck250 at greenchef.com/BelowDeck250. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well.
Back to the show.
Yeah.
All right. So Haley Whittle wants to know, any charter guest horror stories? Do you have a charter guest horror story?
Worst of all time.
So Natalia Shooter, she's on the current season. And
I don't think that's how you say her name,
Shutter?
but that's fine.
She told us a story where one time, basically, she was on a boat where it was essentially an orgy going on.
Well, she said that a father and 2 sons shared the same sex worker.
Yeah, that's quite normal, actually.
Yep.
I mean, I've had scary moments where I actually went down to the cabin to check the passports of the escorts to make sure they were of age.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I will
Wowza.
refuse to be, because the girls that came on, I wasn't comfortable with the way, like how young they looked.
Sure. Yeah.
But then
You almost turned into John Wick.
It was, you do get put into situations. I mean, prostitution and stuff is very common on boats. This is like, there's no proper laws at sea. I know they say like,
Yeah.
you can't do this and that, but I mean, I've seen some stuff. I've
you, like-
seen people who don't use toilets or toilet paper in their culture, so they just do it on the shower, and
What?
the girls have to clean it up.
What do you mean they do it on
They
the
just
shower?
go to the bathroom
Yeah.
in the shower. They clean their booties in the shower.
And
Well,
they
everybody cleans their
No,
booties.
but
and
like they
shit.
yeah,
Oh.
Wow.
and it's just like everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah, there are definitely some horror stories of yachting. But I have to say, the women's group we had on my season, for me, was quite
Yeah.
Cathartic.
shocking for me in a way that I couldn't get my head
Right.
around. I think the whole time I just looked so confused because I kept thinking they must be paid actors. They must be paid actors.
Right.
They are not.
And it was because they were so overtly sexual with the boys. Were they just loud and hammed up the entire time? What was it?
I was just overall quite shocked of, like, how could you go back to your job and your normal life and your partner after
Yeah.
behaving like that?
Yeah.
And I mean, I like to party.
Yeah.
I do. But
Party, yeah.
party.
Yeah.
And I love a beach club, and I'll get up on that table.
Yeah.
And I'll have a good time. But
Yeah.
I've never be rude to anyone, obnoxious,
Yeah.
put them down. I've
Right.
never shout. But just, the whole thing, I was just like, wow.
So you would say that those women and their behavior
Was
were
worth an underage prostitute now.
no, definitely not. But they were probably worse than shitting in the shower.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, couple more
I
questions.
clean
That is a condemnation.
Teresa Meter asked, and I think this is a great question. Have you ever hooked up with a charter guest?
Great question.
I would love to, and it's on my list of dreams. And it's actually, when I did the interview for Below Deck, they said, is there anything on your wish list for this season? I was like, I want to fuck a captain. I want to fuck a charter guest.
Yeah.
And I didn't do either, and I very much tried.
Would they have let you do that?
Of course they would. It's happened in past Below Deck seasons.
Oh, so a sea
Malia
rat having
famously
sex
ho-
with a captain?
Well, Malia famously hooked up with a charter guest, and then we saw Kyle hook up in his first season
yeah.
with Frank.
A great love story.
Oh, wonderful.
But
Yeah.
no, I never have. But also with chefs, like, I promise you, we are never seen.
Yeah.
Like, never. And
Right.
when you do see us, like, I stink of food. I'm sweating.
Sure.
I probably haven't showered in 2 days.
No, you're covered in grease.
Yeah, it's not nice.
Yeah.
Penny Cole asks, is Captain Jason as hot in person?
He's so beautiful.
He is.
Oh, in person, he's just. I don't actually know how I cooked with that man around. Have you met him?
No,
Not yet.
No, we've never met him.
Christ.
How tall is he?
Tall enough.
Yeah.
And by the way, so I assume some of your attraction comes from him actually being a pretty good person as well.
He's incredible. And we actually do speak quite a lot because we're both extremely spiritual. And he's been helping me on this spiritual quest I've been on recently through Reiki and other like levels of spiritual.
The only bad thing I have to say, he crashes boats into docks.
Yeah, I don't know.
It wasn't him. It was the engine. Don't blame my Jason. Bad pod rat.
No,
Bad.
what's happening? What's happening right now is
Jealousy. Pure jealousy.
No. It's not jealousy. It's that thing that you do where you allot people too long a leash, and you've done it with a lot of people in your life. Jason crashed that yacht into.
But he got away with it because he's good looking.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You have to stop forgiving people the way that you do.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm a bit of an empath, though, and I see the good in
Yeah.
people.
Me
Yeah,
too. Me too.
yeah.
Me too.
I don't.
Okay.
I mean, he crashed a boat into a dock of a
It was
bunch
the engineering
of people.
problem. Don't make me defend my future ex-husband.
Fair
okay?
enough. I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
More questions. More questions.
Are Aisha and him? No, because obviously not, right? Because obviously not. But
Aisha's so in love with Scott.
so in love with Scott.
They're
And
gonna
Scott's
have
great.
babies.
They're going to have babies. And he's kind of like ripped like Jesus
He's
on the
so
cross.
gorgeous.
Yeah. But do you ship Aisha and Jason?
Oh, what, together?
Yeah.
Those two?
Yeah.
Nah. I promise you it's like very weird brother and sister.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm not going to say she's, it's going to sound so bad, like gross in any way or anything like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
She is more of a Kiwi sort of girl that
Right.
if the car tire was broken, she would just
She'd get the
fix
jack
it,
out, yeah.
You know, and I think that Jason admires people like that, but he likes to
Yeah.
have someone where he can show, I can
I have big muscles.
do that.
Yeah.
He does. He has
I
that,
take the
doesn't
shits around here.
he? I don't know. I mean, I might be, that's my opinion.
No,
might be
I think you're
completely wrong.
pretty dead on with that. Yeah, and we're just kidding. We know that Jason and Aisha are not a couple. We know that Jason and Aisha are not a couple. And we
Captain
know-
Jason's dating Lala now.
Who?
Just kidding.
Because I'm still waiting.
Yeah. No, it's okay. Lala and him will flame out because Lala is. I mean, there's a lot going on there. You know.
All right, this might seem like a negative question. Is there anybody in the below deck world that you can't stand?
Oh, great question. Who asked that?
Me.
Thank you for asking.
I haven't met all of them.
Yeah.
But is there anybody
But
that
say
you
the
can't
one
stand?
name that you hate.
Well, it's probably going to be Luke.
Look,
Oh,
I
well,
gotcha.
that's an obvious.
Okay.
Just because of
It's because he
my
tried
girl.
to sexually assault and rape somebody. Yeah, I mean, that's just. That's an obvious
that's
answer.
obvious.
Is there anybody who didn't commit any crimes that you hate?
Oh, okay.
Great question.
I don't really know. I'm just trying to think back on the seasons, but because I know how it is when you're in the moment, you never know how
Yeah.
it actually would
What,
be.
what about your private school girl?
I like her.
You do?
We talk almost every day.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I too forgiving?
I like that part of you
everybody
because
lives
I am
their
too.
own life. When she betrayed you, what were the vibes like between you and her? I mean, did you want to throw her overboard? How quickly was that mended?
So I get over things really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I do, but I need time to process because of my ADHD and my dyslexia and everything else that's going on
Yeah.
with me, myself, and I.
Me and you, boo.
I just need time to basically go through my brain about both sides, how it worked out, and figure it out and get to this middle ground. And I work things out in my head constantly. My head's constantly going.
Mm-hmm.
And the bit where she came in as I was trying to process everything. And
Yeah.
also I was really far behind on food that day.
Yeah.
And I worked myself up so much about, not being good enough in my job and all of this. And I already knew I was behind. And
Yeah.
she was trying to hug me. And I was just like, I already knew I was like an hour behind on everything. And I was
Right.
hanging out my arsehole that day.
Yeah.
Fuck, I was hungover.
Oh, that's what that. I was going to ask you what that meant.
I like that. Hanging
Yeah.
out my asshole.
Yeah.
Do you not have that in America?
Not yet.
No, because it's a very
We can
like
start it, though.
it's kind of a visceral, expression. It kind of like conjures up imagery of a prolapsed asshole, which I think we kind of like. I don't know.
Depends how old you are, really.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Not me yet, but maybe you guys.
No. Mine's pretty tight.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
High tight.
That's very good to know.
So, you were hungover. You were behind on work.
Yeah, and just I didn't.
Not the right time.
I was just processing, and that just wasn't the right time. And I remember saying to her, like, "No, not now.
Yeah.
Like, just not now. Just give me some space." And she kept trying and trying. And I know for a fact that the cameras weren't there. I would have been like, "Fuck off and give me 3 hours, and I'll come talk to you when I'm ready."
Yeah.
I love the
know?
way you handled it. I remember that scene so well. I thought that was exactly how it should have been.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great A.
Oh, the first A I've ever got.
Sick job.
Tell my mom. Put on
We're
the
not going to
fridge.
talk about this now. You're not going to get I'm not going to allow an apology. Like, that was fucked up.
Yeah.
No, I loved it.
Yeah.
That's the way. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it was like just a bit of a shock, and then it just brought back a lot of memories for me of like constant rejection, the prettier girl, why can't I be more like that, and then like the understanding, well, I'm not, so this is how it is sometimes, and like that isn't the right person for you anyway, or they would do that anyway.
Well,
and,
I disagree
I
with
just
that
had to
estimation,
process,
but
like,
yeah.
I think in many ways, this is why the show is so successful. It really encapsulates like high school in a certain way, like
Sure.
just the hierarchy and like the jock.
I mean,
and-
she's literally called Jim A. Private School Girl.
that's right.
Yeah.
in her passport.
So can we? Can I
Start
ask-
wrapping this up a little bit.
Yeah, we gotta wrap this up. We gotta go to Pat's favorite place on planet Earth.
We're
What-
gonna have some drinks.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a Mary fuck kill.
Oh, okay, great.
Oh Lord.
What's your favorite foods, and what's your favorite foods to cook? And that's the question.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So, something that I wasn't able to do in the show is that I actually specialize in nutritional Middle Eastern food
Oh,
and
wow.
North African grill. So I like to dig out of the sand and create the fire pits in there and cook within that. And
Holy
and
shit!
the Middle Eastern flavors and spices, nutrition-wise, that are so good for your gut. That's
Yeah.
what I do with my private clients and households, because I'm there to help them diet, especially if they're a celebrity or a film star trying to get into, like after having a baby or something,
Right.
trying to get into a role and stuff like that.
How many sides of flesh do you have to fuck up in a pit before you get good at cooking like that? Because that's extremely difficult.
I was very lucky with my upbringing that my mother was kind of like a hippie surfer chick, and she was actually originally a punk singer back in the day. But we camped a lot, so from a very young age, I would go out surfing, come back with the kids, and mum would be cooking on a campfire, and that's how it began. And
Yeah.
then I was, through my incredible family, being able to travel to places like Egypt and Israel and places like that.
Yeah.
And, and seeing how it's done and practicing and learning. And that's how I basically learned everything that I know in chefing. Like, obviously I went to culinary school, but the things that I learned the most was actually traveling to countries and sitting with the women in the streets and learning.
Yeah. I mean, is there anybody healthier than the people that eat that food? Maybe the Japanese, but I can't really think of anybody.
Japanese is very heavy on rice. I mean, India is very good as well because their spices with all that antioxidants. And
Yeah,
what
yeah,
it
yeah.
does, but it's,
Do you like spicy?
I like spices.
Yeah.
I don't like something that overpowers.
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
even sugar is a spice.
Oh, okay.
So,
Interesting.
it's-
You know who doesn't like spicy? Well, I don't, but his tummy, I mean, you should see what this guy
I can
eats.
only eat turkey sandwiches.
He
What is your
literally
culin-
only eats turkey sandwiches.
That's all I eat.
I mean, it's
what's your
crazy.
culinary background? I don't think we got any of that. Like, what's your training?
So I trained at a place called Bordeaux Quay in Bristol, where I grew up, which was actually an organic cookery school where you learn high-end like culinary arts, but farm to table. So
Okay.
I was at school, and there I learned about biodynamic gardening and like how you do seasonal foods, and then like the basics of it and how you get into high end.
No glyphosate.
No, so I'm a very natural chef. I think this is a big reason why I struggled so much on Below Deck, is because, yes, I have worked in Michelin-star restaurants. We all have to. It's how you get up in your career. But it's something that I'm not entirely passionate about. But nutrition and cooking food that actually heals people is my true passion. So then going onto a show like Below Deck, where
Everything needs to be blown. Oh, sorry. Everything needs to be blown up.
Which I love doing because I worked for a lot of Russians. I've had jobs where my sous chef had to, in the morning, dunk frozen grapes in gold flake, because that's what they wanted.
Can we talk about Russian food? And
Careful now. I'll take your wife from you.
I'm also Ashkenazi Jewish, and
shalom, motherfucker.
I think that Jewish food. Russian food cannot be in this conversation, but maybe you'll illuminate this for us. Most underrated out of these: Jewish food, British food, Russian food.
Underrated?
Yeah.
Well, Jewish food is the most underrated.
So underrated.
It's the most incredible food in the world, personally to me.
Yeah.
But I think you have to go to Tel Aviv and all these places and go to the markets and experience that street food and experience it properly. But then one of the most inspirational chefs to me is Yotam Ottolenghi. And he is incredible. And he actually tried to, years ago, through food, bring Israel and Palestine together through food. And
He failed. He failed. Yeah.
How did you guess? No, but he's incredible. And the another thing I love about him is that he is a gay man and he's Jewish.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bring on the gays.
Yeah. Me too. Me too.
I'm sure.
Can I end
Russian
this?
food is fucking disgusting.
Some of it's brosh. It's nice. Some of it's nice. I like Russian.
All right.
food
Fucking
sometimes.
cold
I'm gonna make
potatoes.
the
and
listeners
fucking
be
cold
really
fish.
jealous.
Egg and potato.
The four of us, producer Lewis, Dylan, myself, and Tzarina, we're going out to a bar. We're going to have a couple cocktails on the network's going to pay for it.
Thank
couple
you.
last stupid questions.
So, we'll go quick fire.
All right.
Okay.
Christina Camarina
She's been a fan for such a long time, and it's just crazy that you can't say that name.
I'm an idiot. Marry, fuck, kill. Culver, Harry, Adam.
Oh, shit. I don't like to kill anyone.
Kill someone.
Oh, I don't know if I could, because I feel like, and this is going to sound terrible because I don't like to use people, but I really like Culver's lifestyle and family, and I want to get in on that wheel.
You're going to marry that fucker?
I would marry him.
Yeah.
How are you going to have sex with him wearing that Captain Lego head?
Who has marital sex? I thought that goes out the window when you get
No,
married.
it's
There you
still
go.
kind of there.
Well, you
No,
sound
it's-
so enthusiastic.
No, it's there.
So I'm going to stick with my decision after that answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I don't know if I kill anyone, but why not just all of them rail me?
Okay, that is a fun cop out, but a
No.
cop out nonetheless. Okay, you would marry Culver. You would fuck. You'd have to fuck Adam, right?
I don't-
Was Luca in there?
No. Oh, don't even talk
No,
about
no.
Luca. I would smash that right
Oh,
now.
me too.
Jesus,
Yeah?
that
Short
boy.
king, yeah. My God.
He's short though.
Butterfly comes.
He can't
aiming
reach-
Spot.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh.
Him and Harry Styles are the only two people that can pull that off.
And I love Harry Styles.
Me too. Who doesn't love Harry?
Okay,
Styles?
Meredith Smith, what's the key to a charcuterie? Because claims that you
God,
are
your
aware that
plates
you are
were so
you're the
incredible.
best in the universe at a charcuterie.
I am so happy that she asked that question, and I am I'm sad that I didn't bring it up. Your charcuterie plates are second to none.
Well, I actually had a charcuterie business in Palma, and I did it in boxes to deliver to yachts.
Yeah.
Like day boats.
Yeah,
But I love doing it because I find it creative, and
sure.
I am so worried that if, let's bless God, if it happens, if I do get another season or whatever franchise, I'm worried that if I continue with charcuteries, will people think that I'm a one-trick wonder
No.
and have to come up with something else?
Well, you can always reinvent yourself.
Fuck people.
All right, so final question. Jane Kosutik asks, season 3, is it happening?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Well,
Come on,
What do
give
you
us a
want her
tease.
to?
what was
she
said at
can't-
BravoCon?
She can't. She can't answer that.
Well,
that question.
For me or in general?
we know season 3 is happening.
Oh.
Are you going to be on that boat?
We'll find
really
out
hope
next
so.
season. Everybody jump in the comments. Let us know what you thought of the interview. 5 stars, kind words. Follow Tzarina on Instagram at,
Chef Tsarina.
and don't say hi first.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you can see if she's interested in the
I'm
dick
very
pics.
single. A
Okay.
Jewish husband would be really nice.
Just say hi. All right. Tzarina, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you
We
so
had
much.
such a good time watching you all season.
I like
You
that
were-
she calls us pod rats.
I love
Good
that.
rats,
I know. She's
right?
giving it right back. Because a lot of people say that that's insulting, and I don't see it. But anyways, we loved you on the show. We hope to see you again on the show. And thank you for being so candid and open with us today.
Yeah.
Really fun time.
Was I too open?
No, you weren't. And I'm so happy that you got out from behind enemy lines and you can breathe a little bit before you go back into a dungeonous environment. But we'll see if you go back. Season 3, everybody keep a lookout. I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Pat, say goodbye.
Bye.
Tzarina, say goodbye.
Bye.